Hello! Winter has already ended, but there is still a little snow, so today we're testing a new track kit of 2023 on an electric motorbike, Surron. This is a new model that we have just developed and haven't even had time to paint it, assembled, installed and will now check. To be honest, I don't know if he will go uphill or not, or even in principle break down, so watch to the end. Right away, I'll tell you about the characteristics. This track kit is not installed in place of a pendulum. That is, this pendulum does not need to be removed, but it is placed instead of the wheel at the back. This means that it should ideally be lighter and even cheaper, but this is still in the process of being clarified. The main characteristics that you will be interested in, of course, are the width of the track, and width here is 22 centimeters. We often use this track on our kits, it is very reliable. To be honest, I haven't seen anyone tear it up, so we put it everywhere on various devices. The hook at the same time is 2 centimeters. In general, it is quite enough for this motorbike. That is, there is no need to expect that it will be some kind of mountain snowmobile that will pass through some difficult conditions and deeper snow. It's some kind of light riding track kit in order to ride along forest path, maybe go fishing somewhere, just to take a ride with friends or put a girl or your child and ride, teach him to ride electric vehicle, and in general on a snow bike and on a snowmobile, you can even say so. As you can see, we have specially made such a tail from behind, which is not only a wing in order to protect it from snow that will fly to your back, but also this wing can be used as a handle. There is a special tail handle so that the track kit can be lifted together with the motorbike, dragged, pulled back and used. Well, that is in order to place a payload. There are special slots here in order to use belts, put your backpack, maybe some kind of additional battery. In general, all you need is to take cookies with you and go somewhere on a small trip of 20 to 30 kilometers. The suspension here remains from Surron. Shock absorption is located where the pendulum is. Similarly, inside the track module itself, as you can see, there is no shock absorption. It is rigid here, but at the same time the suspension is roller. This means that it can be used not only in winter, but also in general in summer, or when there is very little snow. That is, your suspension will not wear out, as is the case with our other kits. The brake remains from your SUR-RON motorbike. We give the brake disc, it is installed immediately on the hub. We also give sprockets. Your chain remains, which will be placed on the 420 sprocket on the right side. The setup is simple. We have a separate video, which will be a little later, so subscribe to our channel, be sure to put a bell here at the bottom, and don't miss this new video. We will definitely show the installation guide. In this version, because it is still a prototype, we made it steel, so it is not very light. Our task was to check that we had designed everything correctly and that everything is working well. Therefore, in the next version we can make aluminum ones. They will be lighter, more thoughtful. If you need to make an aluminum version, be sure to email us at the link in the description, or by email, or you can just call us. Managers will definitely advise you. I'll tell you a little more about how the gearbox is implemented here. It is quite close to the track and to the hook, and therefore it is very important to lubricate it almost every time you ride, because the chain will rust. And we have put our own sprocket here. This is a 36-tooth sprocket that ensures the free running of the chain. Therefore, we will supply a complete set, most likely a chain, so that you can install and not waste your chain, which is on the wheel now. The sprocket that turns the track, it is plastic and in general quite reliable, durable. We use such sprockets in our other kits. They have shown themselves very well and are practically not erased. But even if they are erased, you can always order it from us if necessary, install it yourself. There is no difficulty in this. It is also worth noting that we have such a rod here, which is attached to the footrest, and it allows the suspension to work well, up and down. You will not have such a thing, that the crawler module somehow wrapped too much back or forward, on the contrary. Left, these rods are specifically needed in order to increase strength. They are being installed by the way fixing the footrests. Therefore, there is no additional need to install anything on the motorbike, just screw the bolts into the same holes. And of course, the second part is the ski module, without which it will be almost impossible to ride. In general, you can ride on a wheel with the track kit, but I warn you right away that it will be much worse to handle such a bike than on skis, since we have skates installed on skis. 2 side skates, right and left, and 1 central skate, which is so P-shaped. And they keep the snow very well due to the fact that they just bite into this snow. You will see it on video. The rack is already proven, reliable. We make it for even more powerful motorbikes. Such special supports that cover the fork leg. And by the way, we also have the opportunity to offer you plastic clamps, which is more tailored to this block from Surron, adapters that are installed on the Surron axis, and a special ski positioning system. It is called the SPS, which controls the behavior of the ski up and down, so that the ski does not break too much up. To do this, there is a shock absorber, which at a certain moment begins to work and keep the skis from creasing. This is very important when you are riding very actively, turning quickly, and so that your skis do not turn back to the side, because in this case you can be thrown over the steering wheel. The shock absorber will be held and press the skis nose forward. And of course a handle is installed on the skis, for which you can drag, lift, pull out if you get stuck, or you can use this handle somewhere when loading. It is still reliable, so nothing will happen to it. The skis here are put in the basic configuration narrow, 15 cm wide, plastic frost resistant. Also a very reliable solution, practically doesn't break. Unless of course you jump from some springboards, although we do not recommend using this kit for very active extreme skiing. It is for so-called walking mode. In general, this height is quite enough for the fork to work, but under the order we can make a lower mount, so that if you are riding somewhere on the track and it is important for you to increase the fork stroke even further, then we can do it under the order. And of course, if you order an aluminum crawler module, then the rack here will also be aluminum, lighter, which will save on weight, thereby increasing in general the mileage on your snowbike. In order to install the ski module, the wheel is removed here, the plastic flaps are removed. As you can see, you can even leave the brake if necessary, if it doesn't interfere here. But in general, you can also remove it, so that it weighs as little as possible. Well, besides the fact that this kit is very easy to install on a motorbike, we also managed to keep the height of the saddle, because it is very important. You're already used to riding on wheels, and roughly understand what the height of the saddle is. Literally, the rear axle rose by 1 cm, the front axle remained almost at the same height. When you now get on a snowbike, everything remains the same for you. You also reach with your feet, of course, it becomes lower with shock absorbing, and you're even more comfortable in driving, because you can put your foot out somewhere, just stand, relax while waiting for your friends and they're coming for you. And most importantly, do not forget that the crawler module consumes 2 to 2.5 times more energy than on the wheel. If you had enough battery on the wheel in the summer, well, for about 40–50 kilometers, then this means that in winter the battery will be enough for 20–25 kilometers, depending on what quality of snow, wet or dry snow, what is the weight of the driver, driving skills, etc. All these factors unfortunately increase energy consumption. Therefore, your distance will be reduced. It is very important to first make the first trip somewhere near your base, in order to understand how much this battery is really enough in your conditions. And only after that, try some very long routes. When you realize how much you have enough battery, you need to take a second one with you, or one battery will be quite enough for your entertainment this weekend. So we tried to tell you as much as possible about this new track kit. If you liked it, then put a like. If you still have any questions, be sure to write in the comments. And if you are ready to order, then we have a link to WhatsApp or email. Write anywhere. We will be happy to offer you different configuration options and tell you how to pay for it, how we will send it to you, and how to install it. Thank you for watching to the end. Bye!